Have any of you read the book Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell? Based on the author's research and evidence, he concludes that success is intricately linked with timing, where a person is born, thousands of hours worth of training and hard work, and the influences of their upbringing, amongst other things. When these factors perfectly align, a person can experience fame as long as they have the desire to be successful. It's a great read, which we've linked in our description box. But how does all of this relate to the rapper Bone Crusher? Well, if we look deep into Bone Crusher's life, we can see that his rise as an influential artist correlates with the book's teachings. He was born in Atlanta on August 23, 1971, as Wayne Hartnett Jr., and he came of age at just the right time to become one of the originators of crunk music. He had the talent, determination, and was at the right place at the right time to launch his song, Never Scared, which RockTheBells.com now calls one of the dopest crunk songs of all time. But while his Southern counterparts like T.I., Lil Jon, Outkast, Killer Mike, David Banner, and the Ying Yang Twins went on to experience longevity in the industry, Bone Crusher didn't. So what happened? This is a story about a man that walked away at the height of his success, and of course, this wouldn't be an RRG video if we didn't include some messy allegations that threatened to ruin his credibility. Before we get started, don't forget to grab something to eat at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of sweet teriyaki beef jerky, cookies and cream popcorn, and strawberry licorice. Okay, now let's get into today's video. Crunk music originated in the early 90s, with 3 6 Mafia bringing us one of the first most notable hits with their song Tear the Club Up. Upon the track's release, the world was introduced to a sound that was completely different from what the West Coast and the East Coast were delivering. With heavy bass, catchy hooks, and oftentimes what some would describe as aggressive lyrics, crunk music is guaranteed to make a crowd go absolutely wild. Bone Crusher was a fan of music since his early childhood. He told Fact magazine when he started working on his own music, his parents didn't understand what he was trying to do, but his grandfather was the one who encouraged him and told him to go for everything he wanted in life. He earned the nickname Bone Crusher because he was always doing risky things as a child, like jumping off of roofs.
I just took that and made it into the lyrical side of it. And I said, that'd be a dope name to use as an artist.
He was never fixated on making money and would spend his days working at a local Waffle House and as a chef. He also designed logos for several artists, including Jermaine Dupri, but his passion for making music was something he could never seem to shake. He teamed up with other rappers in a group called Lyrical Giants.
The Lyrical Giants were very pivotal in the infrastructure and the making of the sound of Atlanta in the beginning.
He also joined a group called Chronicle, which included talented individuals, including producer Avery A1 Johnson, L Rock, and Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, to name a few. Bone Crusher became popular around the city and stood out from other underground artists because he was 6 foot 3 inches tall and weighed over 300 pounds. In other words, he was hard to miss. He started providing hooks for other acts. He also secured a record deal with indie label Break 'Em Off Records and released an album called Bone Crusher and His Industry Friends, which included several remixes of the song Never Scared, which was produced by A1. After a 2002 live performance, Bone Crusher handed out copies of his album to attendees. One DJ in particular, named DJ Will, believed in the record so much he played it over and over again at a nightclub where he worked. But Bone Crusher didn't realize how popular the song had become until he was invited to the club. He said when the beat dropped, the venue released confetti and balloons from the ceiling, and the club goers went bananas. One night, while at a club called Levels, he gave a copy of the song Never Scared to Jermaine. After listening to the song, Jermaine decided to play it during a segment of a radio show he was hosting. Jermaine reportedly told listeners, "This is about to be the biggest record to hit the world." After playing the song, the phones at the station started ringing off the hook. It was at that moment that Jermaine realized he needed to make a move, and he needed to do it quickly. Before a bidding war with other labels could ensue, Bone Crusher told High ATL that Jermaine offered him a recording contract on his So Def Arista label and gave him $1 million up front. Bone Crusher accepted the offer. Never Scared featuring Killer Mike and T.I. dropped in April 2003, and just as Jermaine predicted, the song was a massive hit. It landed on the top 10 of the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop chart and earned Bone Crusher a Source Award. He was also nominated for a Grammy and an American Music Award. The song became the official anthem for the Atlanta Braves 2003 season, and a remix featuring Cameron, Busta Rhymes, and Jada Kiss pushed the song's popularity even further. An additional remix was included in Madden NFL 04, and his image was featured in Def Jam Fight for New York. Weeks after Never Scared was released, So Def dropped his debut album in conjunction with Bone Crusher's previous indie label, Break 'Em Off. The album peaked at number 11 on the Billboard chart. Not everyone was excited about the popularity of this style of music, though. The transition from the conscious and carefully crafted lyrics from artists like Goody Mob and Outkast was briefly overshadowed by the hyped-up and gritty crunk music. And then came some drama. 4 months after his album's release, Mississippi rappers Reese and Bigelow claimed Bone Crusher was a song thief. According to All Hip Hop, the rap duo recorded a song called Never Scared, which featured Bone Crusher and Killer Mike and T.I. Bone Crusher was accused of removing Reese and Bigelow's vocals and repacking and re-releasing the song. RRG listened to the original track that includes Reese and Bigelow, and yeah, Bone Crusher might have some explaining to do. We also dropped a link to Reese and Bigelow's version of the song in our description box, so you can check it out for yourself. Reese and Bigelow filed a copyright infringement case against Bone Crusher.
It's court records in Atlanta. If you go look, that we're still suing that dude. I mean, we're still suing Epic Records. We're still suing Jermaine Dupri. We're still suing, Bone Crusher, but he got nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we've been suing that guy for a very long time, man. And it's like they won't settle.
Bone Crusher didn't let the incident deter him. He continued working with other artists and even made an appearance on TVT's 2003 Crunk and Disorderly album. Instead of maximizing the success of his debut album, he told MTV he wanted to drop a brand new album while the hype was still there. He estimated that the album would drop in December 2003, but Release the Beast didn't actually hit record shelves until July 2006.
Arista was going through what it was going through as far as with BMG and the split and all that. So I got kind of caught up in that shuffle.
By this time, he was the head of his own label called Bone Crusher Music, and the album barely cracked the Billboard Top 100. In other words, it was a commercial flop. From there, he shifted his focus as his weight topped 421 pounds. He joined the cast of Celebrity Fit Club, and by the end of the season, he set a show record by losing a whopping 51 pounds and 12% body fat. He lost an additional 10 pounds after the show ended and had plans to continue living a healthy lifestyle. In October 2006, he released his third album entitled Free on his Vainglorious Entertainment record label. And in 2007, he teamed up with Celebrity Fit Club's Dr. Ian Smith to create a fitness DVD. And then the years passed by, and Bone Crusher was relatively absent from the limelight. He told Rolling Out magazine he made a conscious decision to step away from the entertainment industry after the birth of his 2 youngest children. He decided to focus all of his time on being a father. He still made time to perform here and there, including when he visited Germany to perform for the U.S. troops. And the thrill-seeking nature he displayed when he was a child returned. According to TMZ, Bone Crusher jumped off the stage during his performance and sustained a major knee injury. He was seen in later years using a motorized cart to get around because he had trouble walking for extended periods of time. He also told TMZ the injury derailed his health journey and it caused him to gain more weight. In 2013, he performed at the So Def 20th anniversary concert. Bone Crusher returned in 2018 to perform at the label's 25th anniversary concert as well. Bone Crusher has dabbled in acting. He has collaborated with other musicians as well, including Musiq Soulchild, but he hasn't released a studio album since 2007. The rap game, especially in the South, has changed drastically since his heyday. During a 2014 interview with Vlad TV, he said the new music coming from the region was going in the wrong direction.
I think it's garbage, really. I think that they should learn basic principles of how to make a record. They should enjoy music more, because music is what it's all about. It ain't about money.
We're not trying to be messy, but you can Google which songs were popular in 2014 that originated from Atlanta to determine which artists Bone Crusher was referring to. These days, the father of 5 spends his time with his family, which includes his wife, Anissa. Sources report the couple tied the knot sometime around 1994. They own multiple businesses together, including Crusher Consulting and a catering company. So, as we mentioned at the beginning of our video, everything lined up perfectly for Bone Crusher. He was in the right place at the right time in history, which allowed him to secure his future. Some might call him a one-hit wonder, but he told High ATL he's still eating off the revenue that's generated from Never Scared. That sounds like a success story to us. Don't you agree?